Welcome back to the RTF podcast, where we refresh your feed so you don't have to. My name is Matt, his name is Marco, and you're watching episode 72. Mark, there's so much shit going on. Oh, I swear. There's so much shit. We have to talk about this. I've been going crazy today. I mentioned it before. We have to go through this. This is literally probably, I might be over-exaggerating.
Just, you always over-exaggerate.
I do, but that's the whole point of this podcast. That's what we do here.
That's
We're refreshing the feed. We're not putting you to sleep. If you haven't heard about it already, 30 million people have. It launched literally less than 12 hours ago. Instagram's new app called Threads.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. This is huge. For us here, refreshing the feed. It's literally called refreshing the feed for a reason.
Yeah,
and now there's a new app called that we're going to be refreshing. Basically, Mark Zuckerberg it's a Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon battle royale. Yeah. Right? It's a 1v1.
Yeah.
This app, I personally think, is going to take the craziest spin on how Twitter is used, number one, and how Instagram is used, number two.
Okay.
So a lot of people are complaining, but there's a lot of memes right now of that there's a lot of apps. There's a lot of social media apps, and that everyone's using all of them.
So many.
Be Real, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now this, Threads.
Say TikTok. Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, yeah. And YouTube Shorts. Let's not forget. A success story, to say the least. Over 30 million users in under 24 hours, which is huge. It's massive.
Yeah.
Right? And that has to be mostly accredited to the fact that it implements with Instagram so well, and the followers are the same. So it's basically like a sidecar kind of app right now to Instagram. It's a sidecar kind of app, right? And the reason why I think people are really adopting and it's seen so much success in the first 24 hours is because it gives off of, at least for me, it gives off a vibe similar to Snapchat that's very personal, yet also you can share a lot. And hear me out. Twitter is so political and usually public, and like you're very scared to say what some things on Twitter because it's been known to just blow shit out of the water. With Instagram now and have it being your followers that are following you and tending to, it kind of feels a little more private for some reason. Maybe because you have a subconscious connection with those followers already. So what I thought of was this app is turning into a way to make public conversations, but privately. It's complicated. Right now it's complicated. I'm still getting the feel for it.
So if it's something, if we sign up, are you the only people you follow are the ones that you follow on Instagram?
Yeah. So there's a couple different ways to launch the app. Obviously it's its own individual app.
Yeah, no, that extension.
I know. And then you can basically transfer all your data over from Instagram, like your bio, your profile pic, whatever it is, all that stuff comes over.
Okay.
Your your handle, it all comes over from thing. And then you receive actually in your bio on your Instagram a little tag underneath your profile pic, and I'll throw it up on the screen that has your Threads. It's a Threads logo. It's like a link.
Yeah.
And then a number, and you can click that. That
brings it to your
profile on Threads.
Okay.
But no one. It's like a pin. Remember BlackBerry? Yeah. It's like a pin.
Yeah. I guess the way that they integrate it is definitely smart. Like, it definitely took time.
100%, bro.
I just think they probably they could have had so much more success if you condense it into one app. Like Threads. Just allow Threads. Yeah. Just allow Threads to be on Instagram. Not that you're going to steer a lot of people away from it, but it's like, fuck, now there's another app.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Twitter already does what this thing does, and Twitter was the first of its kind to do what it does. having breaking news instantly at your fingertips, being able to, put out things that how you feel, not like next to Facebook and all that stuff. But Facebook, I feel like it was more, you were waiting more for news to come out, and then once you post, kind of have to sign in to go in. But Twitter, you can basically get notifications right away, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're obviously trying to mimic what Twitter is about by just implementing it into something that's a little more popular.
Yeah.
Because I think Twitter has its followers, its group of people. It's not tailored to everybody. It's not tailored to the younger generation, that's for sure, which is what Instagram is.
Yeah.
Right? So you see a lot of like the older generation using Twitter because they're used to it now. And they're used to like, news outlets and sports outlets and everybody getting, news out there ASAP. But when it comes to the younger generation, the Gen Z,
Gen Z is the
whatever they are, right?
Yeah, or Gen
the
Y.
one that grew, the one that are going through like the TikTok phase. That they grew up with Instagram. Like me, I grew up with Facebook and Twitter.
I grew up with Instagram,
right? So it's like your generation. They're like, oh fuck, like what's this new thing? Which is what we were doing at the time that Twitter came out. So it kind of gauges that following now too, right? But for entrepreneurs and like what the fuck is the word? For influencers, that their life revolves around Instagram. I think it's genius. I think it's genius in the terms of creating something that lets you integrate. And I think the ease of how to integrate your profile on Instagram and kind of connect it to the profile now on this, what's it called, Threads. I think it's genius. It's shit that it's two separate apps. I mean, it's obviously it's probably so hard to integrate into one app, but the amount of shit that's probably going through, the amount of information that they'd have to do, like
they
can take a peek.
Oh my god, bro! Honestly, I don't use Twitter at all. I really didn't use it for its entire life, or my entire life, whatever. I was around longer than I was on socials, but I didn't really use Twitter. I didn't really understand it. It was I'm more Instagram oriented, and like there's a reason behind that. It's just there's so many politics involved with Twitter. I do think it's a great platform, but like it's got some serious competition now, and I'm doing the math. 30 million users. It's definitely more now. I'd probably say from the last time I checked, it was 30, which was like maybe 5 hours ago. I'd probably say it's around 40 to 50 million users. I'd say easily, because in the first 2 hours, there was 2 million users. In the first 6 hours, in the first 2 hours, there was 10 million users. In the first 6 hours, there was, I don't know, Zuckerberg, he went off about on actual Threads. But doing the math at 2.36 billion, is it 3.6? 3.5. 2.35 billion.
We're not good at math, by the way, so hopefully you got it right this.
No, I got it right this time. I have to go sideways. That's 2.35 billion.
Yeah.
Divided by 330 million. That's wrong. I'm getting it back now. 30 million divided by 2.35 billion is 1%. It's just over 1% of their users. So take that in. It's only 1% of the Instagram users.
That's a fucking small number.
And it's 30 million.
That's how many people use Instagram.
You know what I mean? Like,
but how many people are going to adopt to this new app?
So this is the way I approach it. And
will you get 10%? Like fucking 10% is a lot of people.
10% is 300 million.
Like
over 300 million. Yeah.
How many what does Twitter have?
I had
it
here.
Great fucking.
In 2023, they have 450 million. 450 million users. But this is the thing, right? Because I'm spraying content on this thing so far. Any of the platforms I'm on, I don't post more than once or twice a day.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say 3 times if you count stories or anything. But I literally posted 4 times in 25 minutes on this platform. Yeah. So that just goes to show, it's the convenience, and it just goes to show that this can go 2 ways. It's like following and things like that, but things get reposted and sort of that sort of vibe. and it's going to be one big clusterfuck of info.
Yeah.
And then it turns back into Twitter,
Essentially.
right? Because Twitter is just an absolute clusterfuck of info. And you get, like, the thing about reposting is kind of upsetting because it diminishes the app in a way that all your followers can like some random fucking shit, and then it comes on your page. Then it's on your feed.
Are you talking about Twitter?
Both. They both have the reposting feature.
So Threads, if you repost or if you, let's say, I don't know what,
Yeah, you repost.
for instance.
Yeah, retweet or you repost.
You see it on your,
I see it because I'm following them.
whoever,
And it'll say, like,
reposts,
yeah, like-
likes a tweet or likes a thread or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, like if it says Marcos Torino reposted this,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
see it.
and it's about fucking whatever, something random, fucking some shit, and I don't give a fuck about it, and then I have to view
see
it.
it.
You know what I mean? And I think that diminishes the app. If they would have took the route with not being able to repost, but only like, commenting, and sharing, I feel like it's so much better. And obviously the interface is the exact same. All the like, comment, share button.
Yeah.
It's all the same as Instagram. It's the same. Everything pretty much looks the same. But honestly, I think this is the future. And I say that about a lot of things. But I think this is going to give Twitter a serious run for its money. Number one, with all the controversy it's had with censorship and things, and the porn is not going to be on there. For lack of better, that's sort of the bottom line.
Yeah.
Twitter is full of that,
Well, because Instagram censors that stuff.
and the community guidelines are still valid within Threads, right? So
I know what you mean.
yeah, like it changes the game. Twitter takes a vibe. Once
The privacy and all that stuff is much better on Instagram. That'll follow through on Threads, which Twitter, it's a much open platform. So I get what you're what you're saying. Do I think that users from Twitter are going to leave Twitter and go over to Threads?
No.
No. Because like I said, it's two different groups of people. It's two different followings that you can already see, right? Like, I mean, compared to the Instagram users compared to the Twitter users, it's like tenfold.
Yeah.
With whatever the numbers that you just gave me, right?
Yeah.
So to say that Threads is not going to pass Twitter, it's an understatement, because at the numbers that Instagram has, it should.
Yeah, it should.
Like, you would expect it to have more followers. You expect it to have more users. So it's just because the amount of users compared to Twitter is just astonishing. Do I think it's going to have more validity in terms of having access to, up-to-date news, like, sports news, whatever the case may be? For me, I use it a lot for, breaking news, weather updates, anything sports related, whether it's free agency in any of the major leagues. Do I think that Threads is going to take over that fact and it's going to be more relevant? Definitely not. I don't think anybody can take that away from Twitter.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough in that sense. But I think the integration between the apps, it's definitely new and exciting for that generation that was grown up using Instagram.
Yeah, instead of Twitter.
Instead of Twitter.
And instead of Facebook.
You know what I mean? Because it's something new, it's something exciting.
And it's text-based, which, again, and I've been getting notifications all day about it, which is, again, supporting the launch, because when you get notifications and people see it and they're like, what's that? And
knows that
it's all over the
popular,
place.
right?
Yeah. So the fact that, again, building on that, it's a text-based social platform, it has to be the ease of posting and the ease of being able to pump out 5 different posts a day, right, without even thinking twice about it, is what separates it from Instagram, and then takes it to a whole nother level, because it becomes like TikTok. TikTok, you need to post 5 times a day to have success.
Yeah.
You need to post 6 times a day. And like Addison Rae and all those big names were doing at that time.
Yeah, and you have
5-6 times a day, and it's just like 3, 4, 5 trends. If you come up with a certain number of ways to create public conversation, because that's what the platform is intended for, it's to
well, that's what you hope for.
Yeah, and then it catches fire and things like that. But that high number of engagement and involvement and publishing is like astonishing to know that it's going to take it to the next level. Because Twitter, I feel, is people come attack you instantly if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
100%.
And this is more like opinion-based questions. Twitter's everything. Twitter's like everything. All text-based
100%.
everything. This is more like the objective is to create public conversations. That's what even the CAO, I think, that's what they whatever the fuck, CMO, whatever.
Yeah.
He came out and said, and it was like, okay, so this is more personal. Like, you feel it right away.
Yeah.
Because it's Instagram.
You're more connected to the people that you're
yeah, it's not full of
with.
It's not full of ads. It's not full of like shit, like random shit and news, and at least for right now, right? You don't know if the channels and the big platforms are gonna adopt it eventually, but
I think that people have to maintain the use of it, because I feel like a couple months down the road, maybe a year from now, I feel like we can look back. I wouldn't be surprised to say that it was a fad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a fad. People used it for a couple months. They got tired of it. It wasn't something that everybody did routinely. You know, it wasn't like an Instagram, and it's like, you know, people post on their story how many times a day if you're an influencer. I'm worried that, well, not that I'm worried, but I wouldn't be surprised if we look back and it was it was not
a flop,
a joke, but it was a flop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's different. I don't think Twitter will ever be that way, but I like the fact that they're coming out with something new to do what Twitter did.
Yeah.
Because Twitter's been stagnant for years.
Yeah.
It's been the same shit.
Elon tried to stir shit up.
You know what I mean? It's been the same shit. It's done well. Obviously, it's done really well, and it will continue to be really well because people use it, and especially for what people use it for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of cool and exciting. I think it's obviously better than TikTok. I fucking hate that app, but that's just my opinion. Right?
The reason why I think it's not gonna flop is because it's not a one-off. It started already as a part of the umbrella of Meta, and
continuation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not like a Be Real, because Be Real is a one-off. It no association with other brands, so it's difficult to get it off the ground.
That's one thing.
It's a great fundamental concept, really great, and it still struggles, I believe, I think, to compete with other big platforms, right? So the reason why is because now you have that foundation of the trusted Instagram built into it already, and Meta, and the marketing that's going to go behind it, and the development from literally one of the biggest company, if not the biggest developer company in the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they may not be, but like it can be. So it's like, there's no way it can fail. There's no way it can fail.
Yeah, I don't think it'll fail.
Whether it doesn't have as many users as expected, or it doesn't, whatever.
We don't know, right? We don't know until that time comes. Who knows? But it's exciting. It's something new. It's something
sick.
People to use.
It's sick, and I love it.
Good.
I love it because it's not like Reels or TikTok. It's not turning your brain into mush. It's text. It's reading. It feels. It feels fucking. It feels good.
I know what you mean.
Because you're so used to scroll,
if you think about it, we haven't had something like this since Twitter. Every single outlet that we've had has all been like pictures, videos, reels, shit like that. That's what it's been. Like, you know what I mean? Be Real, TikTok, Instagram was all pictures, and you know what I mean? Until you got to like reels and stories and shit like that. But we've never had, we haven't had a text, some like thread in a long time. And that's what you hope gauges people's interest, right?
Yeah, it was like, I feel like it went like a roller coaster, that involvement, that subconscious involvement with text and like fonts and the way it's presented. We went from, at least when I've been alive, Twitter, Facebook, very text oriented, not maybe images, not a lot of video, very minimal video. Then we went to the image age with Instagram, and it was images of quotes, a lot of images of text, right? And like passages and this and like inspirational stuff and whatever. And then the image phase, obviously, with actual like images that aren't just of text. And then we made our way into the video boom with Vine, and then eventually Reels, and eventually TikTok, and eventually YouTube. Now we're caught up to that space. But at the tail end of that is captions, is subtitles. And subtitles, they something about bold with text with drop shadow really engages the viewer, and just text in general. Because
you want those different they want the different features to catch people's eyes, right? You want to have the difference, and you want to have like different things that are gonna like fucking interest people, not always the same shit.
Yeah, and like, how many times have you watched a reel or a TikTok, and you've been staring at the captions the whole time?
Yeah,
and you're not really. Yeah,
sometimes you look at TikTok and just look for the comments.
and just look at the comments. But like, you know what I mean? And subconsciously, it's like the texting is like already begun. It already started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird because people take time to develop like really engaging text and captions because people gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like an innate thing that from our childhood we've been taught to read and whatever. Like, so it's
We're made out. That's how we're fucking growing up. Everybody.
and it's like a marketing strategy and advertising strategy, a billboard with giant text, and oftentimes you're willing to look, or your eyes gravitate towards it because generally, and street signs, it's like it's really like a psychological game because like there's text everywhere, and generally it means something important when you see text in an unconventional way. Like you read a book, you know the text is in there. You're walking down the street, you see some text, you're like, oh fuck it, this probably means something.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of psychological.
You more towards text than a picture.
Yeah.
I know what
You know what I mean? Like, if
that's like the bigger picture.
Yeah, like if you saw a billboard with a picture of that with that behind you, you probably would look at it maybe, but if you saw a billboard behind you that said need car insurance or some stupid shit like that, you'll probably end up reading it because it's so easy to read.
Exactly.
Right? Like you a higher chance of you reading it, which is interesting to me. It's like psychological. That's why I was thinking about it, and I was like, why do I feel like this is just like natural instead of like
it is
drowning my brain out with videos and shit like that, right? So I don't know, it's interesting. I'm excited.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens and excited to see what direction it takes, but Zuckerberg killed it.
Yeah.
There couldn't have been literally anyone else that would have been able to do that.
No.
I don't think any other platform.
Failed.
TikTok would have failed. Snapchat would have failed.
Maybe Apple. Maybe.
Oh my God. For sure.
Yeah, maybe Apple.
If it was built into the if it was built into the actual thing, yeah, for sure.
Maybe Apple, but they don't have a social media app in order to.
But they have but the thing is the users.
That's what it is.
They have the fucking users. Most users.
Yeah,
they probably the
most
most users out of everyone. Yeah, of course. Right? Which is super interesting.
It's just crazy how tech is like we have so much at our fingertip, and like something fucking new comes out, and it's like, oh fuck, like like a snap of a finger, and it's like, oh, what is it?
Yeah,
and how much we just gravitate towards it. It's just crazy. Society is
within 10 hours I was on it. Not even 10 hours, like the next like this morning it had come out.
I know, I saw it
a couple hours after, and I was like on that shit, bro. Like, I was on it. I was like
right on Instagram on stories. I'm like, well, what the fuck is this new thing? Right? And it's just
so easy to adopt.
Exactly.
So easy to adopt,
right? Because Instagram is like one of the most used. So the minute you go on there, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like right in front of you.
Literally, I found it instantly, and I was on it, and I, within 20 minutes of me downloading it, I had already posted 4 times, bro. I'm telling you, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this shit's for me. This shit is definitely for me. But no, I'm definitely interested to see where it goes.
I'm excited too.
So
see how
sick. If it gets some serious traction, but we're gonna switch gears for a second. So we're gonna talk about Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about it last week.
We were really excited before it came out.
Honestly, first impressions, I want to say that it was interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't know where it was going to go. I knew it was going to be about Nick Fury and the Skrulls. I just didn't know what direction it was going to go in. And I guarantee you, Marco, that the season finale is going to leave us with a lot of mystery because it's about damn time that it leaves us with mystery. That something leaves us with mystery.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
No conflict resolution. Yeah. Please, no conflict resolution. Leave me on a cliffhanger, I'm begging.
Well, they have to. There's only 6 episodes, man. They can't put everything into one season with answering so many questions.
Yeah, like just literally leave me on a cliffhanger.
Me, I enjoyed the first episodes.
The first episode was like a little slow for me.
Okay.
Until they got to the end of it. Spoiler alert, by the way.
They're out there, so
whatever.
Watch them.
But it was super interesting. I didn't know they were gonna I thought it was like Nick Fury saves the day. You're gonna stop the bomb from Moscow. The shit went down.
Yeah.
Shit went down and people died and like.
I didn't think they were gonna kill off a major character like that in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. She's like she's a major character for that series, but definitely not a major character in
Yeah,
MCU.
but she still plays a big role. Even in the Avenger movies, like for Shield, she still plays a big role,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, she played a big role in the Shield series.
Yeah.
But even so, to see where it's going, first of all, I think Nick is a Skrull for sure.
Yeah, there's
Too much shit, bro.
too much shit going on. There's so much.
He's got to be a Skrull.
and he's fucking somewhere else. He has to still be in space.
Yeah.
He's somebody he's a Skrull playing that role, and that's all I think. You know what I mean? I like the direction they're going in. It makes you miss that type of Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We haven't seen
investigative.
we haven't seen this type of Marvel in so long. Like, in so long.
Yeah.
Like, with Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. and what's going on, and you know, the unanswered questions, and like, what the fuck's going on? Who's a Skrull? Who's not? Like, who's playing the game? Who's not playing the game?
Well, the shapeshifting looks great, by the way.
Oh, they do.
I have to say it. Look, the shapeshifting in that series.
Yeah.
Well, the shapeshifting in Secret Invasion is literally probably the best shapeshifting I've seen in a while.
So fluid.
It looks great.
Fluid. They do a great job.
Especially the one, there's a particular scene, I'll throw it up, is when they cut off the guy's finger and it turns.
Green.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
They do a great job.
And it looks...
I enjoyed it so far.
Looks well. Yeah, I was thinking like, it's going to be difficult. Again, it's going to be difficult to wrap up and difficult to answer all the questions.
Definitely.
But how does this tie back in? I ask this with everything. How the fuck does this tie back in? There's nothing's going on here.
It's true.
Call the Avengers? Okay, what the fuck does that mean?
They brought that up.
They brought it up.
I think it's the first time that we've heard that. But I'm saying it's like the first time we've heard Avengers in any
series,
fucking thus far.
Yeah, it was great.
We haven't heard Avengers in how many movies? We haven't heard it in any of the movies either.
Technically, they didn't say Avengers, but it's like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because everything's kind of been its own independent kind of movie, and like with the sides of like, you know, maybe Spider-Man and fucking the new Black Panther, but like a lot of them have been their own individual movie, and I think this is the first time that we kind of get a sense of like, you know, that phase coming back, and it's like, fuck, what's gonna really happen? You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's good, bro. Honestly, episode 3 is out already. Episode 3 is out. We're gonna watch that. And it looks great as well. I saw like it's kind of a spoiler clip of it on YouTube, and it looked good as well. Look at this. First of all, he looks really old. They made him look really, really old.
Nick Fury. He's been gone for a long time, so they have to.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, Samuel L. Jackson has been in literally fucking everything. Yeah. Like, holy shit, he's been in literally everything. I looked up the titles he's been in, the films he's been in, the TV series.
So much.
And it's like, a portfolio like that, if it's not recognized forever, it's like, then what is? You know what I mean? There's tons of other names that have similar profile, like Leo and the big names and stuff like that, but Morgan Freeman and shit, but it's like, holy shit, bro. It doesn't get bigger than that. It does not get bigger than that.
He did a lot of stuff, man.
And there's tons of, like we say all the time, the biggest actors are coming to Marvel. It's the biggest pop-in industry production, whatever you want to call it, literally in the world.
Yeah.
So moving on, we'll talk a little bit about the new Black Mirror series on Netflix.
Crazy.
Okay, so you got to run me up to speed. I only watched the first episode with what's her face? The Spanish chick.
Salma Hayek.
Joan
is awful.
Joan is awful.
The other ones, they were okay. The one with Aaron Paul.
That's a good one.
What's the
apparently
name? Now? Let's see if I can find it. It's like Beyond the Sea, I think it's called.
Yes, Beyond the Sea.
Beyond the Sea.
Yeah.
I think that and Joan is Awful are probably the two best in the series. There is another one called
Beyond the Sea.
No, there isn't. Give me one sec. There is another one called Lock Henry, which kind of mind fucks you. Not mind fucks you, but it's like kind of throws you for a loop at the end of the show. The end of the episode, it kind of throws you for a loop, but it's like, holy fuck. It's like I never thought that it would go that way. You'd really enjoy.
What about the Demon one?
Beyond the Sea. Demon. I've only watched like few episodes before the previous seasons, This season, I've heard that it's a lot more gory and a lot more dark. So more of like a horror feel to it.
Right.
That's what the last kind of 2 episodes are with like a demon. And then there's another one called Maisie Day. Maisie Day is kind of a little bit unrealistic, but it's still cool. The whole season was intriguing. It was fun to watch. But Beyond the Sea is something that would tie home a little bit to you because it has to do with outer space.
Oh, sick.
So you kind of like it. It kind of gets you thinking if something like that can actually happen in the future. Okay. I don't want to spoil anything for you. I mean, it can kind of give you the gist of it because essentially it's about 2 astronauts. They go into space.
Restaurants?
Astronauts.
Oh, astronauts.
They go into space.
Oh, wow. What the fuck? Okay, anyways.
2 astronauts, they're in space and they're on a mission, but they have these sleeping bunkers essentially in their spaceship that allows them to basically transmit their mind to a robot back in space, back on Earth. So essentially their mind can live with their families while their body is up in space.
Sick.
So it kind of gets,
cool idea.
It's like, fuck, it's almost like an Avatar-y, it's like an Avatar feel.
Like Gravity? Is it similar to Gravity?
Similar, but like Avatar.
Oh, like you transfer the consciousness.
Yes, Avatar in the sense where, you put someone to sleep, but they wake up.
The consciousness is transported.
So kind of, it kind of mind fucks because it's like, oh my, like, it's like, fuck, and is something like this actually happen?
It'll happen.
We have the technology one day, it won't really. Maybe my kids' will probably see it.
Yeah.
But then again, it still gets very like dark and twisted. But it's very cool. They Aaron Paul and the other actor, they do a fantastic job. Even Thing is in it. The girl from
is it Beyond the Sea or
yeah, the girl from House of Cards. The girl that gets pushed on the train tracks.
Oh, the girl that dies?
Yeah,
the ginger girl. Or she's redhead.
I think so.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll find out right now.
What's the last name? Fuck.
Kate Mara?
Yeah, Mara. There you go.
Kate Mara? Yeah.
Yeah. She's in it. She does a good job. There's a lot of big names. Because apparently Black Mirror normally uses like low-key actors and actresses. Yeah, this season they had quite a few big names, a little more.
If what you're saying is right, I'm not really liking the horror type gory vibe. I really like the eerie type vibe.
I know.
I really like that better, and it's great to see them do it without getting any like gore or horror.
This one you might. The next couple episodes you may not like. It might not appeal to you, but they're still good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, then like we watched
season 6 though. It's a lot of episodes. It's a lot of fucking seasons.
Yeah, I watched one where the mom puts a chip into the daughter, and she can see everything.
Yeah,
you can see what the daughter sees.
Yeah,
that's an eerie type of episode. That one kind of like fucks you up, and it's like can this actually be a thing too? And then the rating one, where you have to like rate people. There's an episode, but not in this season. In past seasons,
like a Tinder type vibe.
Like a who?
Like a Tinder type vibe?
Yeah, you rate people. So like I would rate you on a scale of like 1 to 5. And depending on your rating, that's how it distinguishes you in society. So if you're like a 3.0, some people will look at you different. But if you're like a 4.5 or like a 4.8, you're like the highest tier.
Oh, so it's like an Uber rating but for life.
Yeah, but you can see it like it's inputted into your in your brain, and as you see it, it like scans your face and it tells me your rating.
What do you think your rating would be?
I have no fucking idea.
If you had to give yourself one, what do you think it'd be?
I don't know, man. Like
out of 5.
I mean, I would think that like I've never done anything wrong to anybody. I've never done wrong to like what I mean. Out of 5, fuck. A cocky me would probably say 5, but like who the fuck is a 5?
No, okay. Realistically,
no, probably like
nobody's a 5. If no one's a 5,
like a 4.2. I would think.
I was gonna give you that. I was gonna give you 4.2, 4.3. That's a decent one.
Yeah, but the same goes for you. You know what I mean?
No, I'd probably give myself like 3.8.
No.
Yeah, 3. That's about 50%. That's pretty good. It's almost a 70. Yeah, around that area. I don't know. Nobody can get a 5. That's a weird concept though.
It is.
You want to hear something fucked? My Uber rating took a shit.
So I'm gonna give you a 1.
I guess maybe because I didn't tip, and now it's just at like 4.1. 4.0.
Something in the Uber, just someone fucking
Nothing.
yak.
No yak. Nothing. None of that shit happens, bro. Nothing. I hate Uber ratings, man. They make you look like an
That's
asshole.
why it's like, it sucks to have a good score because that one bad score fucks you up.
Yeah. Fucks everything.
So it's
up.
almost like always being not mediocre, but like, you know,
Above average. Like a nice 4.5.
Yeah.
Not 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, and then you get fucked. Unbelievable. Anyways, I think we're gonna end there for today.
Sounds good.
Review on the Spider-Man film really quickly. Did you watch it?
The new one?
Yeah,
No, not yet.
I watched it. It was great.
Yeah, you said it was great.
It was fantastic, and I really would recommend the watch. Super interesting. A lot of different things going on. A lot of kind of like mindfuck things, to say the least. I don't want to spoil it in any way, but really, really good. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. And Spider-Man is slowly creeping up as one of my favorite. Yes,
Talking about the next
one of my favorite Avengers. Slowly creeping up. He was maybe 4, 3. Now he's closer to the top with Thor, right up there. But yeah, I think that's it for this week.
Sounds good.
Thank you for coming again.
Thanks for having me.
Why is this making that stupid noise? And that's it again for episode 72. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're listening on our audio platforms, make sure to check it out. Check out the podcast in full video on YouTube. If you like this podcast, if you like our episodes, if you like our clips, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends. If you guys have any interesting things that you came up with during the podcast that you found that we said that was a little controversial, or you didn't like, or you might find things differently, leave a comment, let us know. RTF merch is still out. The Disney Plus inspired hoodie, the Netflix inspired hoodie, and the long sleeve and the short sleeves are still available sizes. Not too many, but there is still available for any interested people. DM, text, email at refreshingthefeed@gmail.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, thank you for listening. Mark, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening, guys.
That was episode 72. Refresh your feed so you didn't have to. Peace out.